Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to check out the 1-bar stamina Warden build. 1-bar builds have become very strong thanks to the great new mythic item called Oakensoul Ring. You can use this build in solo or groups, whatever works better for you. On ESO-hub.com you can find a full written guide. I will put the link in the description. I would also appreciate if you actually like the build on their website. That would help me a lot. So you can find a best in slot, the beginner, and you could also use werewolf if you want with this setup. All here. Basically all the sets, skills, champion points, character, what kind of consumables you can use. Passives, I even added screenshots of the outfit and unbuffed, buffed, and the parse. So it's all there. Link in the description. And if you want to know where to find the Oakensoul ring, it's also on the website. We will add more leads as soon as we find them. There's basically 2 items missing, but that's about it. So let's go over the basics. First, here are the unbuffed stats. Like, the ring just gives you so much power. It's insane. To quickly jump over it, the ring, it gives you so many major buffs, like they barely even manage to list up all there. The most important ones for us, basically savagery, 12% more weapon crit, 20% more weapon damage. We get 10% more damage, we take 10% less damage. We get major heroism, which gives us crazy fast ultimate regeneration. This here's from another set. We also get more resistance. And we get major force, 20% more crit damage, and major courage, 430 more weapon and spell damage. There's just so many buffs, like very, very good. The only downside is that we basically are only allowed to use 1 bar, which, well, we are a 1-bar build, so we don't really care. I do use the Thief Mundus Stone. Buff food wise, I use Lava Food Soup and Salteris. Gives me max stam and a buttload of stamina recovery. You could also use Dubious Cameron Throne or Artaeum Takeaway Broth if you want a little bit extra health. Because right now we are at like 18.6. If you use Artaeum, we lose a little bit of recovery, but we gain quite a lot of health. And also stam. So if you need more health, then either use Dubious or Artaeum. If you don't need health, just more max stam and recovery, then use the Lava Food Soup. Potion. You don't have to use potions with this build. Like, you can just use the dirt cheap potions that you find from monsters. You could also use very expensive potions that give you minor heroism. They restore 1 extra ultimate every 1.5 seconds. We already have major heroism. Where is it? So many buffs I can't even find. Here. This one gives me 3 ultimate every 1.5 seconds. This one gives me 1 ultimate every 1.5 seconds. So we have basically 4 ultimate every 1.5 seconds extra compared to normal builds. It's just like the ulti chain on this setup is crazy. Let's talk about the sets. I already talked about the ring, so make sure to go get it. If you don't have it, you can always use the beginner setup. But I would highly recommend getting this once High Isle is here. The second set, Zogwin, gives us a lot of extra crit chance, and it also gives us minor force. Another 10% extra crit damage. Then the third set is Relican. So this is just like, you can use the perfect or the imperfect version, it doesn't matter. The 5-piece is the same. And the 5-piece bonus is basically what we want. Let me actually show you, because this one, it deals like 9k DPS. That's why it's so strong. So make sure to go get this. We also get Minor Slayer from this set, which gives us 5% more damage on like any PvE mob, or like in dungeons, trials, and arenas basically. Then the last piece, Slime Craw, just to get a little bit extra crit chance. If you don't have this, you can also use another one-piece monster set. It doesn't really matter that much. I do have 6 medium armor pieces, all divine trait with max stamina enchant, and 1 light armor with divine max stam. On jewelry, bloodthirsty to increase the damage in execute, or like, I mean, it starts scaling from 90%, but it really starts kicking in hard when you get closer to the execute range. All weapon damage enchantments. 2 daggers, one with Nernhound trait and a flame enchant, and the other one with a charged trait and a poison enchant. This is important because the enchantments alone, poisoned, burning, fury, and this, yeah. The wrong parse. Here we go. So these things do like 6 to 7k DPS alone, the enchantments. So you really want to have this specific setup because charge trait is very strong. Champion points. In the green tree, honestly, whatever floats your boat. I usually go with Rationer, Liquid Efficiency, Steed's Blessing, and Treasure Hunter, but it doesn't really matter. Then the blue. Here it's important, you get Deadly Aim, increases your damage on with single target attacks. You get Master at Arms, increases your damage on with direct damage attacks. You get Backstabber or Fighting Finesse. Like here you have an option. Backstabber gives you 10% crit damage if you hit the target from the back. So if you're playing in a group, that's probably the one you want to use. If you're playing alone or you're not sure where the boss faces, then go with Fighting Finesse, because this one gives 8% critical damage. But you can attack from anywhere, right? So it's just 2% difference, not that huge. The last one, Wrathful Strikes, to increase weapon and spell damage. In the fitness tree, Boundless Vitality for more health, Fortified for more resistance, Rejuvenation for more recovery, and Bloody Renewal for extra stamina when you kill an enemy. The most important ones are the blue ones. With the others, honestly, whatever floats your boat. Try to get as many of the passives as possible. It's all listed up here as well on the website. Now to the most interesting part, the skills. Let's start here, why not? Fetcher Infection. I will also show you a solo setup and a group setup, because if you're playing solo, you want to slot the heal. Here we have Fetcher Infection. This is a very powerful dot. Basically every second cast of this ability deals 50% increased damage. So you get a little bit extra damage as long as you keep this up. Sub Assault. This is pretty cool. You can pop it, and then basically these shouts will come up twice. Then you can reapply it. Cutting Dive is our spammable. This also has a very interesting mechanic. So first off, it deals a lot of damage already. But if you're more than 7 meters away from the target, you set them off balance. Right? And if the enemy is already off balance, the Cliff Racer rips through them, causing them to bleed. So if a target is off balanced, you actually do even more damage with this spammable. Really, really powerful. Winter's Revenge. This is an AoE dot. Pretty big range. And it also deals a lot of damage. Then, here is basically our flex spot. Bird of Prey. It's pretty good. While slotted, you gain Minor Berserk, increasing your damage on by 5%. If you're playing in a group, this is already provided by somebody else, most likely, but you can still have it slotted because of the Advanced Species passive. It gives you another 2% more damage. This. And then we have the Wild Guardian, very powerful ultimate, constantly deals damage on its own, and when the ultimate is ready, you can also attack its special attack, then deals extra bleed damage. That's really, like, it deals a buttload of damage. It's insane. Now, what if you want to play solo? You can simply replace Bird of Prey with Vigor. If you don't have Vigor, it's fairly easy to get. Just do the PvP tutorial and you will have it. But if you don't, then you could also slot Living Trellis, right? So this year we can play solo, we can do arenas, overland, whatever you want. The heal is very strong. Play in a group, then just do this. And voila. Let's take a look at the Parse real quick. Where is it here? It's basically 105k. Cutting Dive dealt the most damage, almost 16k. Next up, the light attacks, so you really want to make sure that these hit. Sub Assault, Relican, this is the set. Winter's Revenge is the AoE dot. Then these here are all from the bear. Basically 20k DPS from the bear alone. That is pretty nice. Wait, I think Hemorrhaging is also from the bear. Yeah, so it's almost 26. And the bird, let's not forget, it also has a bleed down here, so it's even more. The Fetcher Infection, 5k, and then all the status effects. Yeah. It's fairly simple, but you can see the damage output is insane with this setup. And all that on one bar. Let's take a look at the Parse before we get there. The outfit. Stormlord helm, Greymore arms, basically all Greymore if I recall correctly, yes. Void Pitch, Dye, Transliminal Violet. And the skin that I use is Reanimated Vampiric Brawl. Okay, maybe before we get there, for the rotation, it's pretty simple. You just spam Cutting Dive, you reapply Sub Assault when it runs out, and you keep up your dots. And whenever your bear is ready, you also activate it. Really not that difficult, because we're only on one bar, we don't really need to bar swap.